Well, last time we were having issues with, people were saying interlacing, but it wasn't interlacing, and it's starting to drive me nuts because you guys don't understand what was going on. Let's pull up the chat. Am I live? I am live. I was saying waiting on me? No, it can't be right. Let's refresh that. No, it says I'm live. There we go. Am I not live? What's going on here? There we go. There's some people coming in. Hey! Hi, Nicholas. Yeah, so last time we were talking about what was happening with interlacing, and it's not interlacing. And I'll explain the whole thing here. Hopefully this stream is actually going through. But you see now I am waving my hand, and there's none of that artifacting that's going on. So what was going on was I had my camera set to PSF, which is partial segmented frame. Because let me describe the setup here. I have a C200 that is feeding an SDI cable into a Decklink Dual, Blackmagic Decklink Dual, which is feeding into vMix. Now SDI is it is a interlaced format. However, the signal itself is not interlaced. Well, the signal is interlaced, but the image is not interlaced. The image is progressive. In fact, this camera can't even shoot interlace. It's a cinema camera, so it doesn't have an interlace functionality. However, if you send the image through the SDI cable, there are a couple ways of doing it, and one of them I had was set was PSF, because in my previous past, PSF has always been the one that works. But in this case, PSF kind of tricks vMix and the Decklink Dual into thinking that it's actually 6DI, and then when the frames interjumble, it becomes this weirdness going on. So now when I'm waving my hand, you're not going to see like partial frames like layering on top of each other. It is more, and I am actually recording in 24 frames per second. So that is something that I'm doing that's kind of different in this stream. I was streaming at 30 frames a second, so I'm trying 24. However, I know that even though I am sending the signal, I am processing the signal in 24 frames per second. YouTube itself is not going to get 24 frames a second. It's probably going to get 30. So, hi, Donnie. How you doing? And let's see. Now, the other problem I was having was my little graphic icon, my Chiron, although it's not, I would never call it a Chiron in my life, wasn't working well. So let's see if I can actually pull it up now. So I gotta go over here. I haven't even tested this yet, so we're gonna test it live. Do it live. All right, here we go. So comment from Donnie. Let's see if that pulls up. Donnie. So hello, John. Let's see. I can't read it from here. This is too damn small. I gotta have it over here on vMix Socials thing. Yes, I did update my profile pic in anticipation of Power Rangers Dino Fury debuting a week from tomorrow on Nickelodeon. Oh, sounds only on left channel. Thanks. Okay, so that's something I forgot to do. Let me go ahead and switch that over really quick here. See, it's difficult. Like I'm just in I've had a bad mood lately, and it's just difficult to set all this stuff up when you're by yourself. So let me switch it to. Now you should be getting sound out of both ears. How's that? Does that work there better? Okay. Yeah, and I don't know, I was getting really annoyed with people who were trying to tell me how things were supposed to be, and they don't understand how the thing actually works. Because what I'm trying to do a little video about how to do a streaming setup. Look, it's not all OBS. OBS is wonderful, right? OBS is wonderful because it's free. But there's a lot of things that OBS doesn't do that, like something like vMix, and then getting in like professional cameras into the whole mix is difficult. So we're just trying to get everything all better. But now I'm trying out this new product because this is one of my sponsors. Now, if this doesn't work, it's my fault because I just tried this. I wanted to see if this would work. Okay, I'm going to turn on this camera, and you can show you what I'm seeing. Now, I haven't totally got all the bugs worked out. I haven't set up properly. I just kind of plugged and played and see if it worked. So I'm going to click over, and you can see what I'm seeing. And hopefully you should be able to hear me still. And I can actually, I'll turn the audio on that one too. You might hear a little bit of dual audio. I'm recording both the microphone on the camera and and my microphone on the desk. So this is what I'm seeing here. I've got the C200 behind that teleprompter there, and I got my vMix consoles up there on the right-hand side, and this is just a plate that I have lying around for no reason. I'm not fully organized, and this whole place is not fully cleaned up yet. And here's Nick Cage as a bunny. Here's my comfort pillow. So I thought I'd use this to kind of walk around a little bit of the studio to kind of see where we're at. Now, keep in mind, the signal, this is wireless. May drop out, it might be me, or not, but anyhow. So there is the screens behind me, and there's my other wall. Hey, how you doing? Lighting, I kind of kept it simple now. I'm just doing some Cobb LED lighting on the sides there. We're actually going to walk around here. This is my studio space. So, things are still relatively working. I'll show you real quick back here. Oops. There's this is all the stuff I'm still trying to sort out and clean up. My wall of video ideas that I'm working on. And then my new 3D printer, which I've got printing up a product. I'm going to try out a figurine right back there. And then you can see behind the computer there. So still a lot of work to do. Again, this place cleaned up and functional. And I am super tired. All right, so let me go back. Hopefully you guys can all hear that and see all of that. If you didn't, I apologize, and that was just like 30 seconds of complete silence that you had to endure. But again, this is a test of the emergency broadcast system. Turn the mic off. Okay, let me turn it off now. I believe it's this one, and it's off. There you go. So that is a test of all of the stuff. So yeah. So cool, yeah. There it is. Yeah, I mean, I know it was echoing, but I don't have any way to monitor the audio, and no one else is here to turn them on and off, so. Yep, that is all it is. That is an XC15 Veritamo. Let's see. Veritimo. Yeah, that does work, actually. Cool. So that's working. That is an XC15, not the XC10, but very close. Yeah, I like the XC15 because it's got... See, the thing of people... DSLRs are actually good cameras. You know, last time we were on stream, we talked about how, like, if you want to get serious about filmmaking, you want to get past the DSLR and do something a little higher end. However, there's got to be said about DSLRs is they are have a great form factor. They can go anywhere, and you can just, you know, pop them out and not look like a big giant film production. So there's obviously some benefits to DSLRs that are definitely worth having, and that's what I like about the XC15. It is sort of like a DSLR, but it's not. It's got a fixed lens, which I prefer. I prefer a fixed lens because you don't have to worry about throwing a lens on it. It's already on there, and it's just a way of getting the shot that you can just get quickly, easily, and without much fuss, without much weight, carrying some heavy weight around, without having to do a big giant, cage for it and all that stuff. What's the wireless link for? We're going to be talking about it. They're actually come on as a sponsor, so I'm going to be talking about that product in shortly. I'll do a video about how to set up a whole streaming setup, the whole concept. And I know I'm the last person to talk about setting up a stream the way I'm doing it. I mean, it's hard, man. Streaming is not, streaming. I feel like anybody that does streaming, that really knows how to stream, and I'm not talking about. And I don't mean mean and cruel, but I'm not talking about just hopping on Twitch with your webcam. That's not what I'm talking about here. We do multicam streaming, alternate different feeds and all that. It's nerve-wracking. I may get to the point where I feel comfortable with it, but I'm not completely comfortable with it. But I want to give you guys some tips and some ideas about how to think about how to do a stream. And I'm really focusing more on doing a multicam stream, like an event or something like that. Charles Smith, hopefully all is on track, John. The image is nice and off topic. Loving Apple TV's aerial screensaver. Oh, cool. Especially the new Hollywood sign flyby. Yeah, old HBO presentation crew. I've been putting on, when I'm working here in the office, sometimes I'll put on those YouTube 4K B-roll, like aerial B-roll, and I'll just run it in the background here so I can just see it. So there's so the other problem I was having last time with these little graphics that pop up on the bottom there was, this is, again, you know, like my friend Joe, who's been on the stream too, the podcast that we used to do, he'll be back soon, but he's been having a lot of computer troubles, and I've been having a ton of computer troubles with this computer. I'm still worried about it, and I'm probably going to do a lot more streaming to just test it and torture test it and all that stuff, but. It's the stupidest things. Like his thing, like the other day, was because he didn't have a RAM chip seated all the way through. Look, I'm not gonna lie, we're almost 40. We've been at this game for 20 years, man. We've been doing this for a long time. You kiddos think you invented building computers, man. When I built my first computer, I actually set it on fire because I had something put in wrong. Actually, a little blaze went up inside my computer. So we've been doing this for a very long time, and it's the little tiny things that'll get you, and you don't, and it's easy to pass judgment on us old folks, us boomers, about setting up this gear. But the fact of the matter is, we've been doing it for a long time, kiddo, and it's little things that get you. But my whole point with that was, the reason why I was having trouble with these graphics was because I had my display set to 4K. And this video card does not like 4K. The video card needs to have 1080p. It can't do 4K. And besides, the way the direction I am at looking at the screen, I couldn't see 4K. I can barely see 720. I bet you. There you go. Okay, so Timo says the best affordable cine lenses are mostly micro four thirds. I get the internal ND argument. I'd rather spend 3K on lenses than internal NDs. But because that's much about ergonomics, because it's not much about ergonomics anymore. So cine lenses, I mean, you're going to find a lot more affordable cine lenses on micro four thirds, just simply because micro four thirds has less image to cover. You know, it's a question of how much do you have to cover. You know, the quality of the glass. If you have a bigger frame, you need more glass. And then more glass means more. You have to get more stuff in line, more. Just everything more. Everything is more. So that's why the micro four thirds are cheaper. Now the internal ND argument. I'm sure there are cameras that have. I'm sure there's some micro four third cameras that have internal ND filters. I know, like a lot of. Well, I guess maybe not. I can't think of one, honestly. But yeah, anyhow. But yeah, to me, like for functionality though, I can't get away from internal NDs. But, to each his own on that one, I guess. I did some live museum presentations and interviews on Facebook last year. We were 2 people only, and it was nerve-wracking. I know, streaming is so nerve-wracking because it's like there's 10 things that could go wrong. And then and you got the client breathing down your neck, right? And like every hiccup and did somebody just die? And you're freaking out about everything. And then it's not until it's over that it's like finally safe. I did a stream for the city around Christmas time, and they were doing a tree lighting. They couldn't call it a Christmas tree because it's a holiday tree. You can't call it. I was chastised for calling it a Christmas tree. But we had I was sitting in the city hall, and the Christmas tree, holiday tree, was outside across the street. So we had a long cable going out the street, and then we had one person drive up to the mountain on their phone and then call in through Facebook, and then I was able to take the signal from the Facebook feed to give it to the live stream. And oh my God, that was the most nerve-wracking 15 minutes of my life. But luckily, I had a microphone, so if in case something went wrong, I could always just Just get up there and say stuff. Alexander, I'm sorry to pronounce your name. Alexander Hogdale? Sup with you, man. I'm super tired. I am so tired. My energy level is next to nothing. I've been doing some 3D printing, which makes me kind of, I don't know. It's one of those things where I've got my mind wrapped around something else, so I don't have to worry about how, like, weird and depressed I feel, I guess. Do you ever consider streaming to be broadcasting without over-the-air portion? It's kind of like it, yeah. Streaming is very much like broadcasting. I feel like streaming is taking over broadcasting because honestly, I cut my cable because I couldn't afford it. I mean, I can afford it, but I don't want to pay for it. It's too much money. And now there are like 3 streams I watch like religiously. I really do. So I watch streams much more than I would watch like regular old broadcasting. To the point where now when I watch broadcasting, I feel very, very like annoyed with broadcasting because I don't like all the commercials and the slowness. Looking forward to seeing so much more, even though it's much more learned. Gratitude, because museums need the love. I practically grew up on AMNH in NYC. What is AMNH? That's National History, American Museum of Natural History. Yeah, I haven't been there. I wouldn't mind going there. I haven't been to a museum in like a decade, though. Man, oh man, it's been a while. Well, thanks for the compliment on the glasses there. I appreciate that. What streams do I watch? I don't think I can tell you guys yet. That'll get me in trouble. I don't want to say. But I do watch a lot of... I watch a lot of streaming now. But, yeah. Anyhow. Let's see. I guess we're... so if we're all going to talk about it, we might as well talk about it. What's going on with the Mandalorian's Kara, I forget her name, and being fired for those weird comments. I know I don't like to talk too much about politics, although this is a weird because it's barely political. I think it's the most least political thing to get fired for. I have no idea. When something like this happens, you got to ask yourself. There's got to be something more to the story that we don't know about. Like something else is going on there. And I think that's the only safe thing to say. Because it's what happened, with the James Gunn firing from the Marvels, from the, Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, there had to be something else going on. Or else, other than that, or else the Disney is just being so timid with their support of their artists, which could also be true. So, I would just say, I am not of the opinion that we need to just boycott Disney Plus, although it has crossed my mind. Certainly has dampened my feelings about the show. But I don't particularly care for, the cancel culture style, so I'm not going to cancel Disney. I'm not going to go and hurt other people who work for Disney just because of one decision. However, I don't know. I can hear it. I would reserve judgment on that story. I don't know really what's going on with that. Yeah, Ravut's saying, same here, weird and depressed, except in place of 3D printing, it's me, it's video film editing. Oh, that's good. Yeah, the woman who went to Ben Shapiro after that, yeah, she went, I guess, Ben Shapiro's been working on trying to do some more movies, actually. Their whole Daily Caller, I saw a bit of that movie. It's a subject matter that doesn't interest me. So I was like, I saw a little bit of it when they were playing it live. It looked okay. But why not? I'm of the opinion that everyone should go out and make films, and this is what they should be doing, making films. So my personal, what are the streams I know the name, but I can't tell you. At Filmmaker IQ, okay. Greetings from frozen Scotland. How you doing, man? Stay warm. Are you interested in doing some DIY virtual video productions? Honestly, I did some virtual stuff and I hated it. Oh God, I hated it. I did a project for a college last year, and it was tough, man. It was so, because we were trying to do a situation where we were essentially directing the students in their plays on not Zoom but vMix call, which is like a call-in version for vMix, and it was just like 10 problems, man. Like, you'd get one person that might have a good connection, and like, oh, good, and then it would work. But then half the time it was like the connection's not working, and then the vMix, the way I was recording, I mean, it took me a while to figure out the proper settings to record at, because sometimes it would give me humongous files, like, because we would be redirecting these things, and one particular thing would be like 30 or an hour long, but that'd be like 70 gigabytes, and it's like, that's way too much to be spending on video, web quality video. 70 gigabytes for web quality video, not so good. So yeah, I don't really care for virtual production. However, I'm going to talk about streaming, which I'm probably way too late to talk about. It's probably way too late to be talking about it. The first museum I went anywhere on Earth was the Fort Worth Museum of Science and History. The last one was the Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle. I haven't been to a museum in like probably a decade. I think it's been a long time. Yeah, Derek says her firing has been brewing for a while. I think it has to do. Again, I don't know. None of us know, right? So I don't know why she's gotten fired. The thing you got to also figure too, Bill Burr said probably worse things than Gina has said anywhere. Right? Bill Burr's probably been way off the handle way more. So I'm not sure it's completely political. It might be like she's not willing to play along with certain things, or she's got, I don't know. Who knows? None of us know, and we don't want to rush necessarily the judgment on stuff like that. We always want to give the other side, whatever your persuasion is, but give people the benefit of the doubt, I think, And heck, now she's gonna go have her movie made with Ben Shapiro and those guys. So worked out for her. Maybe it was a good thing for her. So, all right, here, Mindo says it could be here in southern U.S. too. I'd love to travel more around the U.S. Honestly, I wouldn't have to use my passport. By the way, you guys come to New York. I need to go to New York. Is one of my destinations that I have been dreaming of going to, and I need to go there. But right now there's a pandemic, and it doesn't look like it's fun. So I'm gonna wait until things open up again before I make my pilgrimage to the Big Apple. I really, really love the 2001 Lego thingamajig. Yeah. Any plans to bring back now you have an Ender 5? Yeah. There's a couple things I want to make, but I mean, I just realized today that I can actually design stuff in 3D Studio Max and just bring in the OBJ into Ender's software and just print it. Like, wow, I didn't realize it was that easy. So I actually brought in one of our IQ figurines, our IQ character in there, and I was like, oh, you can print this. Oh, well, I'll have to do that maybe in the future. But yeah, a couple things I would design. Like, I want to design I want to redesign my dynamic range testing set so it's a little more professional looking. And I want to probably do something with lenses and make actually a lens, something that can hold the lens, I can just adjust the lens. But the stuff like that is just the 3D printing. I just got to be able to do that. I have no real plans necessarily. Although right now I'm kind of just making some models and just learning how to. I've got an airbrush coming somewhere, and I want to go back to airbrushing because when I was a kid, my dad's like, I'm not going to pay for an airbrush for you. But now I'm an adult. I'm like, I can buy myself an airbrush and. I mean, my dad bought me one airbrush, like a really basic model, and in those canisters of compressed air that you would use. But now I got a compressor, I've got an airbrush. I'm going to go to town, man. Yeah, I may be standing with Gina Carino, John, but I refuse to cancel Disney Plus as well. Like, yeah, and this goes for anybody on any political spectrum. If you start saying I will only consume art from people that agree with me politically, you're going to be really lonely, especially if you're on the right. If you're going to start canceling everybody that says something, you're not going to be a participant in culture, and then that further isolates you from culture. That's not good. Don't do that. we gotta learn to get along. We gotta learn to get past that, And yeah, and also I want to see how WandaVision plays out. So I'm a little, but then like, why should I punish the people that worked on WandaVision that had nothing to do with this Mandalorian decision? It doesn't make sense. It's not fair. It's not a fair. And then the only person suffering really is me, because what's Disney Plus going to be missing out for $7? I know that's we can always write nasty letters and that kind of thing. Hello, personal opinion, but I have been to New York since 1990. Oh wow, 2007. I've been thrice. 1990, 2007, 2008. I really want to go, but I want to go. I really want to see a Broadway play, but I also don't want to see a Broadway play from the rafters. So I know I'm gonna have to spend some bucks. And I just want to see New York. I want to take my camera. I want to go to B&H for the first time. Or go to Adorama too. Why not? Go see them all. Go to some museums. I'll go see the there's so much I want to do in New York, but right now probably, even though tickets are for me really really cheap, not worth it. Not worth it. Oh, you're okay. So speaking of streaming, you talked about CBS All Access rebranding as Paramount Plus. Oh, that's what those ads are on. I see those ads on Reddit, and I just go scroll right past them. Interesting. CBS is now. And if you watch our video about Paramount, you'll understand why Paramount is and CBS are so intertwined. It's interesting, isn't it? They're opening a film museum in LA soon, right? I am actually I put my name down as one of the early backers. I have no idea when they're actually going to open that thing. The Academy Museum of Arts and Sciences Museum. That's right. Yeah, I have no idea what the plans are. They used to send me emails telling me like, "Oh, we're opening," because they're supposed to open in May or last year, but COVID killed everything, and it got. So with I gave them $100, and that would have bought me like a free year of entry, but I never got a chance to go because of COVID. So we'll see. Hopefully when things open back up, we can go back over there. Why does working in Hollywood have to be more drama centric than being in high school? It's really off-putting. I agree. The funny thing is, so yesterday I was getting annoyed with some comments complaining about my technical problems, because as you can see, I think I've got most of them kind of figured out, but they had no idea what I was doing, and they're like, "Oh, well, John, you really need to be more professional here." I was like, "God, I just banned his ass." But I was thinking to myself, like, my old partner used to chastise me when I would get like emotional about YouTube comments. Like, you need to learn how to take criticism better, John. And it's true. I think all artists need to be able to handle criticism better. However, the trope of the diva that you say one false word and the diva singer gets upset and leaves the room, the trope's real. So there's a lot of people that are successful that are very, very thin-skinned, and they need to be, supported and all that. So it's not as simple as just grow a pair. It just isn't. I'm sorry. It really isn't. It is. You need to have a support structure. You need to be able to figure out how to deal with the criticism, not just blindly take it on the chin, because that just doesn't. That's not reality, dude. It just isn't. So, didn't I already answer you, Source, or okay? I just haven't I haven't been keeping up with the comments. I'm sorry. I'm way back behind. Okay. So yeah, she has FU money, so I'm sure she doesn't care. I don't know if she has FU money. She has money. I don't think she has FU money. But I think FU money is like, that's more like George Lucas. It's like, I think be 8 figures might be FU money. I don't think she's at 8 figures. Like more than $10 million. The question is, who the heck was so important for her to tweet that she was willing to risk being fired for? Well, Gina, what she was saying was that is essentially what I said on my stream a couple days ago, was that we need to have compassion for people that we don't agree with. We have to have empathy. We can't be divided we can't divide ourselves as neighbors. and she was making a reference to the Nazi Germany. And so, I mean, if looking on just those facts, the firing makes no sense. But we don't know what the rest of the story is, so I have no idea. Yeah, her firing wasn't for bad acting. I mean, it's Star Wars. What do you? It's not like it's not. It's not. I'm trying to think of a fancy Russian name, but I can't think of one. The Academy Museum and George Lucas Museum should be opening in Los Angeles. Oh, cool. Well, I should probably make a trip out there then. It's gonna be kind of fun. Trying to get back into some stuff that's enjoyable. I don't know. It took. So yesterday, I'll tell you this little quick story. Yesterday, a friend of mine who was 80 years old, and he plays trumpet, and he's like, hey, come over to my house and we'll play some trumpet. It's like, okay, sure. And so I'm COVID free. I've got every assumption that I'm COVID free because my mom did get tested for COVID last week, and if I had COVID, she would have COVID. So I'm pretty sure I'm almost 100% I don't have COVID, and he wasn't afraid of COVID necessarily. So we stayed we stayed our distances, but we played together. And I hadn't played my trumpet for I played my trumpet maybe three times last year total. Once of them was on stream at Christmas time. And music used to be a weekly thing for me, and it stopped being a weekly thing. And I wonder if that's, I feel like I don't miss it. I feel angry at music because I feel like it was a lot of work. But I wonder if not having that in my life is ruining my psyche. Oh, here's a good question. Did I see the new Frame.io Teradek sound devices integration? Certain Teradek devices can now record proxies and upload them straight to the Frame.io. That's cool. Yeah, man. The only problem with that is I would just have to learn how to do it, because that's pretty cool, though. That's neat. Well, that's the kind of stuff we would see at NAB, but NAB is not happening until October. Lucas is going to have his own museum. I'm really behind this stuff. Yeah, me too. That's going to be fun. Hey, man, you seem cool. Oh, good. I hope I'm cool. You should just direct a horror movie. I did direct a thriller short. But I think I probably think a horror should probably. Feels like horror is the only avenue that anybody can make anything that actually is independent and successful. I can always start hiring. If you don't work out, you can always start hiring a couple bimbos and start shooting porn. The problem with porn, though, is that once you start shooting porn, there ain't no coming back from shooting porn. It is like a one-way street. It's like you can. I've heard this a lot of people say that once you start working in porn, you can't escape. You can't escape it because no one will hire you to make other stuff because he's a porn director. That's what he's known for. Or it's hard to navigate out of that world, and so therefore probably not a good idea. Not a good idea to shoot porn professionally, but for amateurishly, knock yourself out. All right. Can one make a living making porn? Yeah, people make a living making porn. The begs the question, like how. All right, well, I'll just. We're all amongst friends here. We can talk about it. So I did some work with and actually, if you watched my LED video, there's a model in it who was a model I'm absolutely was like blown away by. She's amazing, but she was kind of a Playboy model style thing. It would be a traveling model where she would go around the country working for different agencies or people with camera, even call them guys with cameras, guys that had some bucks and wanted to just have a Playboy model to take some photos of, just practice their. I mean, look, we're adults here. That's what you do. You can do it. It's perfectly legal, and she got paid for it. But then she started going into a lot more bondage stuff, and I wonder, I wonder if that kind of narrows. Now she's known for bondage. Like people, she's not going to be hired by Playboy or for Playboy. She could still do the Playboy stuff, but it's just, it's not. And the bondage she does is not hardcore. It's we're getting to the. Am I getting canceled territory? They already put this. This is not for kids. They already put that little thing down there. But yeah, no. She's into. So I guess she makes a living doing it. I don't know how. I mean, there are people that pay for special videos that they want to commission and that kind of thing. There's a market for it. I don't fully get it. I haven't looked into it that hard. Bad use of words. Alexander says, I was in a shoot last week. Everyone got tested before walking on set. Had to wait 30 minutes, and the results were walked out of the set. And what was embarrassing is that people tested us. The people that tested us came 20 minutes late. Shoot. Delayed the whole shoot. I wonder if anyone was sick, they would just go home. I wonder if you were sick and you were sent home, do you get paid? My guess is you probably would have to be paid, right? Or I don't know. Let's see. People who just came to criticize artists have mostly never created anything. It's them who need work on their delivery. I found the best to make suggestions and not judge. Judging is just lazy. That's what I have. That's my experience too. And this week I was getting very, 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 very annoyed with that. And the thing, a lot of it comes down to the 24 frames a second thing. Like everybody that tells you that 24 frames per second sucks hasn't ever shot anything in their life. And then they're the ones that'll tell Hollywood, you need to shoot higher frame rate. Well, you first. Revik says, there's no coming back from porn. Ask Ron Jeremy, though he made some appearances in mainstream movies. Heck, he even appeared in one of those Bourne films. Women too. What's the girl from Zack and Miri Make a Porno? I forget her name. The blonde. She had a short mainstream career, but now she's back in porn. I want to say, what's that other, the brunette lady? Brunette lady. Well, they're ladies. They're ladies of the night, but they're people, so they deserve respect. There's another brunette lady who had she had a show on G4 for a while, but then she's kind of going back to it. Starting Socials, thanks for the back. Yeah, so some people were complaining that the background last week was too busy, so I just blurred it a little bit. So this is basically, so one of the things I learned during the pandemic, and what kind of got me thinking about doing it this way, was that if you watch the news and you watch if you watch a talking head news in some ways, and it's usually in a studio, it's usually a TV behind them. Like, if they're sitting there and today in Washington, Congress is being as useless as ever, right? It's usually a TV behind them, and they got like a picture of the Capitol, but it's a big giant TV behind them. I learned that because I was watching a video, Twitter, and it was Shannon Bream. She has a show on Fox, and she was talking about how they did her show from her house, and she turned her spare bedroom into basically a studio. They had the big giant camera in front of her and a big TV behind her, and she just sat there like in a desk and did the news. And I just watched it to see what it looked like, and it looked fine. So it got me thinking, well, man, we could do this with Filmmaker IQ. And these TVs were originally pretty reasonably priced. They were about $200 a piece, $250 a piece during the Black Friday deals. So I just picked up 3 of them, and then unfortunately one of them broke. I think it might have been my fault. I'm not sure, but I had to replace the center one. So the center one's a slightly different model, and they're 55 inches each. Anyhow, there we go. Let's have a streaming complaint. I have 2 ways of watching HBO Max, and then neither play on fork. Oh my God, that's annoying. Other services don't offer. Oh shoot, that sucks. I don't know how to fix. Well, call up HBO Max and yell at them. I'm sorry, I'm not keeping up with you guys. There's not that many in front of us. So I'm coming to thinking that there's room for taking all 10 Save the Cat genres and making a horror story from each of them. Go for it, man. Blend and mix. Blend and mix. I really like Save the Cat. I know a lot of people hate Save the Cat, but I like it. I like the book. I like the philosophies. Just don't follow it to a T. Just make some stuff. I should really invest some time directing horror. I should just invest in directing, period. Horror or sci-fi. Oh, sci-fi would be fun. I would love to do sci-fi. Let's do some sci-fi. Dude, YouTube is a cheap showcase. Yeah, well, I mean, YouTube is cheap, but the productions aren't necessarily. I know, I got too into the weeds of the bondage stuff. I'm not bondage is not my thing, although I have friends that know of it, that are familiar with it, that are bigger fans than I am. To me, I don't really, I don't see any appeal in the bondage, but This particular this model that I worked with, that's what she did, and she's married, and her husband appears in the bondage. So it's it must be a happy relationship or something. But well, it's her husband. I mean, he's lucky as hell. Anyhow, you think we'll see a lot of movies and series about COVID in the future? I hope not. So, like, one of the big mistakes I think with COVID was people that decided to make movies about COVID. And I thought that's the worst thing to make. Don't make movies about COVID, because no one right now wants to see a movie about COVID. Like, I don't even, like, I know like, a lot of people have been talking about like TV shows that where the whole story is told through like a Zoom meeting style. Like, I don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that. Like, the last thing you want during this time is more of reality. You want kind of escapism. And I think that's why like stuff like Mandalorian did so well, because it's just pure escapism. WandaVision, pure escapism. There's no mask. No one's running around in masks in WandaVision. The stuff is, we want to get away from the depressing reality. And I think that's, the mistake was to try to make more depressing reality. So. Oh, Captain Exposure, this is your first time. Well, welcome. Thanks for checking it out. Yeah, this is my new studio. If you run back, you can kind of see the incredible mess that my office still is in, but it's getting better. At least it's getting functional. Getting there. So yeah, getting there. New camera. Maybe it's the 20K Ursa. Ooh, because all the it's the Blackmagic announcements. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do a video about the 12K camera yet, because I've got something to say about it, but I'm not sure I'm right on it. And I don't want to accuse a company of basically, it's just propaganda. It's not really a 12K camera. It is a 12K camera, but it's not, the purpose is not 12K. I mean, we can talk about it if you guys are really interested in it, but I don't think I'll do a video, because I don't think I can explain it properly, and I don't really know. I have other things I want to deal with rather than getting drama over tech nerds, because I don't really care that much. It's just one of those things, like when you know something about the subject matter and people are getting all excited about something, you're like, well, it's not that important. Like, oh, wow, it's 12K. Yeah, so? So what? Like, I'd rather have, 12K is equivalent to 8K because of the way they're doing the pixels array. To obtain 8K, you need 12K, and then they're calling it a 12K camera. But it's really it's obtaining the same resolution as 8K. So, okay. It's like the other day we had somebody, I only prefer shooting on cameras with global shutter. It's like, okay, whatever. You got your buzzword of the day in there. Global shutter. Anyhow. I've been editing Super 8. Oh, let's see here. I've been editing Super 8 film for my childhood. Oh my God, that seems like so much fun. I mean, I'm not being sarcastic. Sorry, I didn't mean that to come out sarcastically. That sounds like fun. Film is always fun to work with, like real actual celluloid. Have I ever restored old footage? No, I have not. That'd be fun though. I mean, it would be more. Maybe not fun. Maybe it's more taxing. Yeah, see, I can see a TV show about COVID any day of the week. It's called The News. And then you can go, if you want to find drama, just go on Facebook and type in masks don't work. And just watch the drama all day long. And then type in masks or wear 2 masks and then watch drama happen all day long. I'm so tired of the masks. Don't even ask me to weigh in on the mask debate. Like, I just wear a mask. Just do it. Whatever. I don't want to get into the whole, like, you're killing grandma if you don't. Just do it. I just do it. I do it and I hate it, but I do it. I can't wait till we can say, all right, you don't have to wear a mask. I'm like, all right. But the first thing I did print out, one of the first things I printed out on my 3D printer was one of those, is an eye cup or a nose grabber for the masks. So what it does is it actually pinches the mask so that it sits really tightly on your cheekbones. So that way when you breathe, the vapor doesn't go in your glasses. Which, man, oh man, every day, the glasses issue. Ugh, hated that. Yeah, Zoom meeting movies shows was lazy COVID filming. Well, it wasn't lazy. It's just the only kind of filming you were allowed to do. So yeah, it's not as lazy, but it's like it's ill-conceived. Like, don't make movies about COVID when we're in COVID. It doesn't help. You want escapism. That's what you want. Like how many movies during the giving a perfect example, 1930s, how many movies were there made about the Depression in the 30s? Okay, maybe Of Mice and Men. But that was really, that was about the Dust Bowl. But okay, that's one example. But what were the majority of the movies made in the Depression? They're musicals. They're Shirley Temple singing, dancing, on the good ship, lollipop, and she's dancing around because people were depressed. They didn't want reality. Oh, your life sucks. You can barely find food. No, the people wanted to pay their 25 cents or whatever it was back in the day and just sit down and just watch silly stuff and fun stuff and maybe the joy of life. That's what people wanted. That's what people want. That's what people need these days. Not more, oh, your life, COVID, sucks. Every indie filmmaker I know is pitching a Zoom script. I keep telling him, no, stop, please. This idea sucks. Hand of Fear, you are my hero. You are my hero. All right, so I'll answer the question for you. Why 12K? So the reason why 12K is because it really is 8K. But the way they're handling the sensor is they're adding that extra white sensor. It's not a traditional Bayer pattern. A traditional Bayer pattern, so they're backing up here. So it's a red, green, blue, and then a white part of the pixel of the sensor. And so it's not laid out in a Bayer system. So if you look at the number of actually red, green, and blue pixels on a 12K sensor, it's actually equivalent to the number of red, green, blue pixels on a 8K sensor. But there is a white pixel. The addition of the white pixels adds that additional 4K. And I may not get the math exactly right because I haven't looked at it in a long time. But anyhow, the additional white pixel is explained as a way to reduce the noise and to make it much better in low light, which Blackmagic has never been known to be good in low light. So that's a good thing. So that's why they added that extra 12K, those extra white pixels. However, the white pixels end up being inside of the luminance channel, which in a Bayer pattern is actually used, is the green channel is being used for that. So that's kind of, it's like it's 12K, but it's not really color 12K. I mean, it's got it has 12,000 pixels, but they're not all used in the same way. It's really closer to an 8K camera, but in order to achieve that 8K, they had to go up to 12K. That's why it's 12K. So that's like, I can't get excited about that. Anyhow, yeah. The thing is though, like I have to wrap my head around a lot of really hardcore engineering about this. Please do it, John. I miss your older videos. 20 minutes for more than a single subject. Yeah, they just take forever to write, and it's hard to do. But although I think the streaming video will probably be a 20-minute video, because I'm going to cover quite a bit about the philosophy of streaming or how to even approach it. But yeah, the thing is, like, I don't have a burning passion about that topic, and I'm probably going to get, I don't want to also burn bridges with Blackmagic, although we haven't really had any bridges anyways. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of their cameras, and I mean, I like them. I like them fine. They're good cameras, but I don't want to get into a long discussion with Blackmagic about it. And because I just don't care that much. It's not a camera that, I mean, since it's released, like Linus did a video on the camera. He bought like 5 of them, which is, I'm sorry, but Linus is sometimes he becomes like consumerist porn. Like he just buys stuff just to buy it. I'm sure, but he can resell it and get his money back. But Linus had a lot of hard time with those 12K cameras, so they're gonna get them. Oh, you're gonna read question now. You're justified not to answer. Is self-sufficient financially from just ad revenue or more PC question? Do you ever debate going quantity versus quality with your upload schedule? Yes. Yeah, that's not a rude question. We can talk about it. Is it self-sufficient financially? Not really. I mean, ads money helps. Patreon helps. We're getting to the point where it's at least it's paying a few of the bills that I have. This space that I'm renting, I'm definitely in deficit for that, but I run my own business out of here too. So, I justify it through other ways of running my own business. During COVID times, I was very busy with my other business, which is doing video and doing some streaming too. But do I ever debate quantity versus quality all the time? Because not only my upload schedule, but like also just my work schedule and my life schedule. Because my mom requires quite a lot of care now, and so I'm always bouncing back between things. And yeah, I don't know. Like I would like to spend a lot of time on things, but I also don't have the time. And if I take time away from this, I got to take time to do that. Like I did time on that, and then I look at something like that William Fox video, which I'm very, very proud of, but how little result I got out of that versus another video. Like a video I did about just one thing where I'd spent literally a half a day on, and it got like 100,000 views versus the 5,000 views that the William Fox video got. And you're like, well, I'm getting known for the other stuff, and I only put like half the time, or like a 20th of the time. Good job hunting sites for film workers. I cannot help you there. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's tough. Mandy, Craigslist is junk, but yeah, I can't tell you. LinkedIn, probably. You probably have to go to LinkedIn and try to find contacts. It's tough, man. It's tough. I would love to help you more on that. I don't know. Watch Prospect on Netflix. Great low budget sci-fi. Okay, yeah, cool. A little bit with the guy from Mandalorian. Nice. One show I've been getting into a lot is this show called Plebs. Have you guys ever heard of this show? If you're not from England, you're probably not. It's ran on ITV2. Joe and I write my friend Joe and I write some of these. We have a long-form series we've been wanting to do forever. And I saw the show Plebs, and I started watching it, and I'm like, man, these guys are almost identical. But just goes to show you that, there's tropes everywhere, right? Tropes and character tropes. It's all over it's ubiquitous. You can't. There's always going to be something that's similar to what you're doing. But the thing that's different about Plebs is it's the characters that Joe and I write about. A repressive, and then probably a more sexually daring person or kind of stupid person, and I'm sure that's been done over and over again. But anyhow, what their take on it was, it took place in Rome in 27 BC. So it's a fun show. I got through the first 3 or 4 seasons. I guess I'm into the third season, but it's a great show. Here we are. Before the pandemic, how much did you go to the theater? I used to go every weekend, at least maybe even twice, because I had the AMC Fast Pass, or whatever they called it. And it was literally, like, I could go see any movie I wanted. I could see 3 movies a weekend, and I would usually watch 2, or one or 2. So I would go. I was always constantly, and I've been once since to see Tenet since last March, and then that's it. Wasn't the 1930s the heyday of the musical? Yeah. Sound was invented in 1927, or sound was introduced to the film in 27, so 30s was a good time for it. Mark Omo, am I blocked? I can't send a super chat. I don't know why you can't send a super chat. But you're not blocked because I read your thing. I think the other people, I did block a couple people, but not you. I don't think so. Yeah, 100% for movies as escapism. Also, a sign of good movies is if it gets you out of the real world fast. If you guys ever watched The Expanse to finish off its 5th season, that's one of my favorite, like, escapism, because the future is scary, it's frightening, it's also incredibly inspiring. Like, you're like, I would love to live in The Expanse, except for this season. I probably wouldn't want to be in this season's Expanse, but, like, once we get past and I've gotten through, I have audiobooks, so I've listened to I know what's coming, although I don't know what's coming. I don't know how they're going to handle it. Linus also doesn't understand anyone's needs outside of gaming and data centers. He really doesn't understand film music industry, especially, probably. Well, I don't know. I think Linus does, because I think Linus knows how to run a channel. That's for sure. Like, when he was talking about how, I liked his video about how, like, he was going to, why he was going to ditch Adobe Premiere and then why he wasn't. His talk about about why he wasn't going to get rid of Adobe was like, you finally get it. Like because everyone is harping at me. Oh, get rid of Adobe. Get rid of Adobe. Go to Resolve. Go to Resolve. And I like, Resolve is fine. I just don't like how it edits. Like maybe because I'm so ingrained in the way Premiere works. Like going to Resolve, I just don't understand what's going on. Like why is it laid out this way? It doesn't make sense to me. So and maybe if I sat there for like 8 hours and figured it out, I could probably make it work. But then I would be 8 hours later, I'd be at the level I'm at now with Premiere. And what Linus was saying was like, the cost of Premiere for him to switch everything over to Resolve would be more than the savings he would make by not paying the enterprise whatever he does, 5 or 6 seats he does for Adobe. And I think that's the truth. Like every time I get concerned about Adobe, I got to remind myself, like every year when Adobe used to be a software you have to buy instead of rent, every year I would make that decision. I would say, okay, do I drop the $800 this year for the latest upgrade for Adobe? And I'll be honest, invariably I would do it every time. Like I don't think I missed a single update from 5.5 to CS to CS1, 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5.56, and then cloud came by. So I paid it was about $800. Well, it was the master collection was like $2,000, $800. I mean, I was dropping it every single time. I figured, well, if I'm in business, I'm using Adobe. If I'm not in business and if I retire, yeah, maybe I'll figure out how to work on open software. But right now, as long as I'm making money. See, there's a super chat that worked. Thanks for the super chat, man. $2, sweet. Wrench mine. Thank you very much. I've been annoying your chats. Let's go back. Let's get a little more up to date there. Oh, thank you, Certain Exposures, for that super chat, $4.99. Thank you so much. Help me pay for the studio. Help me pay for the cleaning this damn place up. This place is incredible. Let's see. He recommends Annihilation just because Jeff Vandermeer's Wonder Book talks about the process of getting from Southern Ranch trilogy to movie adaptation is beyond. Cool. Yeah, Linus is starting to get it, but he has a long way to go. Yeah, he's not a filmmaker. I mean, you can't. Yeah, I'm not gonna. You can't fault the guy because he's not. He never was. I don't think he's ever claimed to be a filmmaker. I think what happens though is Linus is, because he is in that lifestyle. Linus is very much a lifestyle channel. So I think what he does is sort of like flashy buying, and the kids eat it up. And I hate to say it. I'm getting to the age of I can say kids these days. But kids these days are I think being groomed by corporations to be very, very consumerist, and I'm very, very consumer. You're not going to find a more ardent defender of capitalism than me, because I think capitalism is fantastic. I think it is the best thing that's happened to the human race or human society. But I also recognize fully, deeply the many pitfalls that capitalism brings with it, and one of them is rampant consumerism. And I think we've gone into a capitalist society or a consumerist culture where now we no longer repair things, we no longer fix things, we just buy something new. And I'm very much like Louis Rossmann in that situation, very much a right to repair guy. But it's true, I get in discussions with people about standards. I think the other day I was getting into a comment war with somebody talking about how he hates standards because technology should move faster. And I said standards are great because it allows us to have a market for technology. If we didn't have standards, then nothing would talk to another. I couldn't stream to you, and you couldn't watch this on Facebook or not Facebook, but on your Android or your computer or your iPhone. That's because standards. We have standards. And with television standards, you can't have television stations in New York City broadcasting a different kind of signal than they do in Houston, Texas. If you move from New York to Houston, you got to buy a new TV because you got a different standard you're working with. So standards have to exist in order for a marketplace to survive. And but the kids kind of nowadays tend to think, well, just old stuff is old. Just buy something new. Your computer's too old. Just buy a new computer, dude. And again with computers is that computers need you need to upgrade your computers. And in the past they've grown so fast that you can't really hold them to a standard. But not everything's a computer. I'll put your rebuttal there. I fault Linus because he claims to know our industry needs. He made a turn after the blowback he got from Mac Pro's rack mount review. Oh, maybe I haven't been following that closely. But I think the thing is, I feel like Linus is a decent enough guy. He maybe he oversteps his bounds sometimes, but I will defend him because I feel like I would love to be in his position as far as what he's built over the years. But yeah, maybe he's gone overboard. I don't know. It's like me. It's like if I were to tell people like, well, you need to go out and you need to stream your Twitch videos at 24 frames a second. I'd be way out of line if I said that. Oh, here we go. What specs do you need to focus on to buy an editing machine without the DAT RGB boost? RGB is like the biggest waste of time of money. Honestly, guys. I mean, I get people like that build computers. Like one of the guys I like to watch on YouTube is Jay's 2 cents for building computers. That's his thing. He builds computers and he makes those amazing looking machines and he rates people's machines. And but like for me, RGB, complete waste of money. Like I do not want to stare at my computer glowing and all that. You build up a nice looking PC. It's going to look great for about 2 months, and then you're going to get used to it, and it's going to be boring. That's a complete waste of money to me. But okay, so what kind of specs do you need? Let's go back to that. I've always been an Intel guy, but those Ryzen's, man, they've it looks like they've come a long way. So I would start looking at the Ryzen's. Lots of cores could make your renderings faster. I have an NVIDIA 2070. I have 2 of them, and they run pretty well for all my editing needs. I don't think you need like the highest end, even if you can get the 20. Anybody can even get a 3080 nowadays, but 2070s are fine. Basically, you want to. I think RAM you want to at least max out as much as you can. 32 is good. 64 is even better. I've got 128. I have never come close to getting to fully using that. RAM, hard drive space is going to be an issue. Hard drive storage, how are you going to set that up? If you would do a RAID, or how are you going to set that up? I'm trying to think what else do you need for computers. But the best advice actually I would give if you're building a computer is go to PugetSystems.com. And they'll build you a computer, and they can build you a computer, and it's going to cost you like 5 figures. But you can look at their parts list and just kind of go off of that. And they have specs, and they have stuff, recommendations, and then they're very big, very friendly to the PC building community. So if you want to build a PC, just check out PugetSystems.com, and they will give you some ideas. Anybody who asked the Star Wars question yet? We did talk about Gina, so we had that a little bit. Yeah, what the hell's up with graphics cards? I was talking to my friend Joe. My friend Joe's in the market for a 3080. He's been in the market for 3080 for like months now. I don't know what's going. Is Nvidia still in business anymore? Are they trying to like be a company? Because it doesn't seem like they're able to get any product out to anybody. And like not even the 2070s, 2080s are going incredible insane in price. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that with Super Chat, because I got a couple other Super Chats. So I don't know. I don't think you're on any. I don't think I've booted you. Although why would they even make that a possibility? Yeah, that's weird. No, you're not on any issue there. Maybe YouTube's like, I don't want to give him money to John. I appreciate the Super Chats, by the way. It's always nice. It helps adds to our monthly haul. Remember, YouTube does get a chunk of that. But I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not. Let's see. Cancel. Yeah, I'm not saying he's dumb. I'm just saying he's naive about anything, not in his narrow field of knowledge. But at the same time, he seems to think he knows it all. But his credit, he has grown in the front. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, like everybody on the YouTube thinks they know it all. I'm sure I probably think I know it all too. My commenters oftentimes think they know it all. Everybody on YouTube knows it all. We're all a bunch of blowhards. Was it tariffs in China and that stuff is becoming expensive? Huh, interesting. But it's not even tariffs because it's a supply chain issue. They're not even getting stuff out there. Unpopular option. I'm always about unpopular options. Imagine if Lifestyle Tech YouTube Space live vlogged the process of doing Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way of outlining via Blake Snyder's Save the Cat. Oh, I'm trying to figure out YouTube Space Live vlogged the process of doing Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. Okay. Not quite sure. Is Gina really a Star Wars question? Yeah, she was on a Star Wars movie. Oh, you're super cartoonist. Yeah, I got rid of you. Graphics card is being used to accelerate Bitcoin mining. Oh yeah, the Bitcoin mining. Yeah, well, that's right. They released that new Bitcoin mining card, the 3050, right? Apparently, everyone's got behind the Bitcoin miners for components, especially graphics card like PS5 launch. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not into the Bitcoin thing. So channel has to make content that people click on and watch. I think that the audience has a heavy hand in driving consumerism because people are often searching for help with purchase decision. Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, Linus doesn't have to necessarily buy 5 12K cameras. Like maybe buy 1 or 2 even. Like, you need 5? It feels like the 5 part was the flashiness. It's like when rappers bust out the crystal on their bitches. So it seems to me like flashy consumerism. All right, film aesthetic. Even VHS or CCD aesthetics looked back at in the positive retro light. Do you think iPhone aesthetics will be looked at in the same way? What are the aesthetics now, 10 years? Good question. I don't know. I find the whole VHS thing to be troubling. Honestly, it's like, well, first of all, most VHSs don't look as bad as they make them out to look nowadays. They don't look nearly as bad. But anyhow. All right, Mark OOM83. All right, fine. Basically, yeah. The reason why is you're being holier than thou and argue and telling me that my whole interlacing thing, and I was just having a bad time and I was just annoyed. So, yeah, I got offended and annoyed with you. So we can either be good about that and we can make amends, or you want to be a jerk about it. I can put you on mute and kick you off. Either way, I'm happy either way. Blake Snyder. Let's see, one of the Blake Snyder's 2 produced films was only produced because Arnold tricked Stallone into making it because he thought it was the worst script he had ever read. That's cool. What do you think about? What do you think? Okay, let's talk about this one. This is because we haven't talked about an actual movie. What do you think about the movie Her by Spike Jonze? I thought Her was really good, but I feel like it's not as hardcore science fiction as I would have liked it to be. Like there was a lot deeper. There's a very deep psychological, philosophical question about what it means to have a relationship with a computer that could have been addressed but it felt more like it was just like, oh, this is just a nice romance story about a romance. But I just, like I wish it would have gone more deeply into that. All right. I'll put you up there. You said I took your words out of context. Perhaps. I was not in a good mood. So, yeah. So if we want to talk about it real quick. There is no interlace. You do not broadcast interlace to the internet. But, however, I had it set up to a PSF, which is an interlace feed through the SDI signal. But it is not interlaced. The signal is not interlaced to YouTube. And it really annoyed me that you were assuming that I was broadcasting interlaced when you don't know what you're talking about. So that's why. There we go. Mark says, no one cares. I know. Yeah, Hannah, VHS filter is not actual VHS at all. Yeah. That's what it's like, it's funny because like it is the I'm sorry, I'm just getting distracted. I said my words, I don't hate you. Yeah, well, I was annoyed with your comment because you didn't understand what I was doing. Interlace smackdown. No, the thing is, I think we talked about it already, so I don't want to cover it again. Like, I explained what was going on with the interlacing and all that. But actually, it's when you realize it, it's like, when you think about it, like everything, even nowadays, all our signals that flow through the wires are interlaced in the way they're delivered, but they're reconstructed when we in the actual finished product. Anyhow, I don't want to rehash that. We've already talked about that. Mindo, good night, man. It's 2 a.m. Very cold. You're from Scotland, right? Have fun in Scotland. Stay safe, man. Stay healthy. Don't get too cold. I had to watch my first Dog Me 95 film last week, and then I had to write about it. And lost post for saying the camera looked like crap. Long post. Sorry. Well, now you can say you've watched Dog Me, right? I have never seen a Dog Me. Oh, Fudge O'Brien says I'm looking dashing. Well, I guess I don't. I'm not as sweaty as I was the other day, and I guess the background's blurry, so it's got that fake depth of field there. I can't ignore you forever. 23.998. Amen. Yeah, Mark. So I'm sorry, but I was proven that it was interlaced on the video. I was giving you a benefit of the doubt. Your input was fine. No, it wasn't proven that it was interlaced because it wasn't interlaced. The video wasn't interlaced, dude. The signal, the broadcast was not interlaced. What was happening was there was a PSF issue. And if you don't know what PSF and interlacing related or how they related, it's because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So you can either take that or I can just boot you off of the stream here too. And yeah, I'm still not in the mood. I'm still not in the mood, dude. Like here's the thing. You should give me the benefit of the doubt because I know what I'm talking about and this is what I do. Like I was also, and this is the guy I banned earlier. So when you think that you can test and you don't know what I'm doing with my system, and you think you know what you're doing, you think you can test it on your system without having an understanding of what I'm doing on my system. I don't know. It's the attitude. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. So we'll see how that goes. I know. Okay, there you go. Thank you. There's better things to argue than arguing with him. I know we're getting some people. We got protesters saying we got a protester. Kick him out. You're getting the. I'm turning to the crowd like the old Roman Colosseum. There. Do we do a thumbs up or thumbs down? Does we send him to the heavens or do we send him down to the hell? Well, now he says he's sorry. So we'll see. Yeah. So that's the thing. Like I spent so much time troubleshooting this damn computer. It's such a pain in the ass. That like people telling you, well, you should just put thermal paste in it. Like, no shit, dumbass. Of course I put thermal paste in it. I know what I'm doing with it. So, oh, he's getting the Operation Baboon vines. You were here, yes, you were here the other day, huh? With the Operation Baboon, like, oh, I'm right. And it's like, okay, yeah. Oh, there you go. Charles Hoffman says it went to Puget Systems, put together my dream computer. Now you need to sell. Yeah, Puget Systems is not cheap. They are, like I love when Corridor Digital and Linus Tech or whoever will get in. Well, Puget Systems sent us their computer. Yeah, they sent you like a $40,000 computer. Of course, I would love them too. Yeah, DK says, did I make sure that the computer was plugged in? Yes, did I? Yeah. No, it's like, yeah, the thing is when you're working with the deck link and you're working with the SDI cables, is like you really have to like get in there and figure out which exact setting works with it. And to say, well, it's interlacing. Well, how is it interlacing? Like right now, it's still interlacing, but the camera's feeding it a slightly different kind of signal. But even though the camera does not actually, the camera has no interlace. Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. Oh, we're gonna enjoy this. You make videos too. Why don't you take a look at my 24 FPS animation? Because I have no interest in seeing your stuff, man. You constantly come on here and try to push your stuff, man. I'm just like, the attitude, dude. It's just too much attitude. Hello, I'm hoping to spend about $1,400 on my next editing laptop, just a month's wages or so. Yeah, $1,400 will get you a nice laptop. I was thinking about getting a laptop to this computer was not working quite right. Like I was like, because last stream I was like ready to dump this computer immediately and go get another computer. I was thinking, well, I'm doing a laptop. Problem is, like, I gotta stop spending money. I spent all the money on doing all this. I don't want to go spending more money. Oh, Fridge, thank you for my live streams. The truth of the matter is, and I'm not alone in this, but like anybody that presents themselves in public, you focus. I appreciate the positive stuff, and probably most of the comments I get are positive. Like even my most controversial video, that 24 frames per second video on cinema, the most controversial video I have is kind of 75% thumbs up. Like why am I focusing on these tiny bit of complainers and angry people that ruin my day, ruin my night, right? I shouldn't be focusing on that. It's nonsense, but you do. That's just life. Like we're evolutionarily ingrained in our minds to look out for the danger. See, now this is what I mean. Okay, now I want to share with you my pain here. So, for you to watch, I'm not asking your subscribers. If only I can PM you and know I will get a response. So it's like and this guy's been coming on to my channel like constantly, like every stream, and I appreciate coming on the stream, but it's like constantly asking for attention. It's just attention whore. So I don't know. I'm not. You're not long for the here. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you're a Mac or PC devotee. I'm flexible, but M1 MacBook is powerhouse for that price. I am not a Mac person. I am a PC person, and I will never jump over to Mac. I do own a couple iPads. I find them okay, but I prefer a PC. I went with Asus. Oh, by the way, it's Asus. Don't say Asus. They'll yell at you on the phone. Asus 2 gaming thingy with a Ryzen 9 thingy and 8 cores, A15 says on the sticker. Does that help anyone? Not sure. It's a little. It's like man, super cartoonist. It's just you're pleaty, man. You're what's the word I'm looking for? You just want you're so needy. But we, and not only myself, would like to have you on Discord. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm just not a big fan of Discord. I don't know how to use it yet. It's just another damn thing I gotta freaking deal with. What time? Oh my God, it's 6 o'clock already. PC, I'd glad to use a Mac too. If I had the money, I might have a job interview post. Oh, cool. Where they use Mac. I've been watching tutorials on it. I've used a Mac before. I had a job where I worked for a week. It was a temporary assignment where I worked on a Mac for a while, and you get used to it, you know. But I'm just me. I don't like. What is the most musical IT company? ASUS. Oh God. Thank you for that, Mark. Only the music folks will get that one. Oh, I have argued with the PC Mac on Facebook. Did I argue with you on PC Mac? Oh my God. I don't remember all you guys' names and who. Yeah, just use what works for you. Yep, just a reco for him. Yeah. I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna complain when somebody has a PC or a Mac. Use whatever you want to use. It's like you want to use a Canon camera, use a Canon camera. You want to use a Sony camera, you want to go ahead and use Sony. You want to use Blackmagic, go Blackmagic. You want to use Panasonic. What else is there? Fuji. Can we name all the cameras here? Nikon, Olympus, what other company? JVC, Inkami. What else? What other cameras are there? Zcam, GoPro. Name them all. All right. You can get an M1 for $1,400. That's cool. Xperia. Am I a Bond fan? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, we'll see when we get that. When we get the last final Bond film. Yeah, it's a shame that that Bond film was holding the theaters. Hopefully, that was the last hope before they were all crashed. Although I don't know. Let's see what happens with AMC. If I was AMC, I'd be issuing stock right about now. Like, yeah, you're only going to get those diamond hands for so long before they go away. So you better issue those stocks, get some cash out of it. Yeah. Anyhow, Minolta. I forgot Minolta. There's another camera. You kind of look like Eric Weinstein, by the way, from this distance. Brand loyalty for the sake of fanboyism is stupid, but brand loyalty for the sake of comfort, familiarity is sensible. Hence why I use Adobe. Yeah. hence why we use 24 frames a second. But like everyone's saying, oh, 24 frames a second is only because you're used to it. Yeah, what's wrong with that? You think Henry Cavill might be the next Bond? All right. There we go. See, here's a comment. I'm not trying to be so-called attention whore, but I don't believe I would be able to contact you anywhere else. I have a feeling you don't like being around people personally. Yeah, I know. He did draw me. He did draw me, and I appreciate that. But it seems like you really want to just take over and like be everywhere. And other people are noticing it too, because it says "Hands of Fear." Says, "Dude, stop. Too much, man." Like I feel bad because I don't want to block him because he's not being mean right now, or not. But it is like I want to talk to you. 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 It's like, okay. Anyhow. Yep. Is that show I'll mention Plebs on anything like Netflix Norseman? I have not seen Norseman, but I think it's Plebs is closer to I don't want to say Friends because it's not even it's been called the In-Betweeners. I've never seen the show In-Betweeners. But it's close. It's a very R-rated comedy, very R-rated comedy, where the one thing I love about Plebs is it reinforces one of my fundamental beliefs, and that is people don't change that much. So it imagines like what do 20-somethings today who just moved to the big city, what would their life be? Because these guys are just chasing tail the whole time, and they're horny bastards, and they're always trying to score. But now we'll put it in the place of Roman times. Now I'll warn you, it is not historically accurate by any stretch of the imagination. Like the first episode, I'm like, wait a second, they didn't have corn back then, like corn as in maize corn. They had, that was the Columbian exchange issue. That didn't happen until much later. So stuff like that goes by. I mean, it's not a historically accurate show by any stretch, and they don't pretend to be. But it is, I think it's really entertaining. It's well produced. Yeah, there's not much for Magic's of Vegas. No. There he goes. Yeah, Plebs is like the In-Betweeners, but in old Rome. I've never seen In-Betweeners, so I guess I need to watch In-Betweeners. That's my next thing. Bitcoin to the moon. We're going to get some Dogecoin going here. Come on, guys. Dogecoin. I have not. I should buy some Dogecoin. I blocked him, but I guess you're a better person than me. Yeah. Uh-oh. Tom Whitesdale might start a fight by saying that I'd be okay with a female Bond if it was somebody smart and kick-ass like a British version of Halle Berry or Gal Gadot. Ooh, those fighting words. I don't know. I think if it was like Jane Bond, but it was like she was so badass you couldn't help but like love her, or at least be afraid of her, then definitely I think you're on the money. I don't know. People always complain. Like it's a funny thing. Like people will complain that why are you making James Bond a woman? Why are you making James Bond a girl? Right? But then you also complain when you say, how come you have no new ideas? Well, our new idea was to change James Bond and make it something different. We want to do something different. No, do the same. It's like you guys don't know what you want half the time. What kind of microphone is that? This is a Rode Broadcaster mic. Rode Broadcaster. They sent me a couple of these as part of our sponsored deal way back in the day. They're nice for doing this kind of stuff. Do you need to buy the rights of a book in order to do a script or get funding? Yes. If you want to base it on that book. You don't have to buy a book if your movie has nothing to do with the book. Let's see. You do, but you also need to watch Friday Night Dinner. In-Betweeners. Friday Night Dinner. Okay. Oh, you're talking about the phone. Yeah, I have it here because I thought it would hide the microphone. I was using it as a visual pun. Gal Gadot is a Israeli agent, and introduce her as a Mission Impossible movie. Wow, she would be a good Mission Impossible character. I think that'd be fun. Yeah, we want the same, but different, but not too different. Like, do you guys remember in the 90s when we had, like, you think reboots and remakes are bad these days? Like, at least sequels these days are at least somewhat decent or somewhat creative. I mean, yeah, maybe. But do you remember when they made the Brady Bunch movie? Do you remember when they made the Flintstones movie? I mean, that makes the modern cash grab look like they're pieces of art, dude. Seriously. The new James Bond will be a female, but she will be transgendered, so she is a man. That'll make those scenes very, very... I feel like that's a comedy sketch, right? For a transgendered Bond. It's like shake and not stirred, or shake it, not stir it. Wait, oh shoot, that's a horrible... Oh, you love the Brady Bunch movie? Sorry. Okay, Flintstones movie. I guess maybe it started with the Addams Family movie, which Addams Family movie was actually a good movie. Like that was a good movie. Of course, they really kind of departed from the TV show. That wasn't quite as similar to the TV show. But the Brady Bunch, that was trying to be a little more too much Brady. Let's see. The first one was okay. The second one was one of the few movies I walked out on. Yeah, like there was a period in the 90s when making movies about old TV shows, they literally just greenlit them with nothing other than just, oh, name recognition, green light. I'm sorry, shouldn't have done that. How many Police Academy movies were there? I think there's 4. But have you seen the original Police Squad? That show's brilliant. Like the original show that was based off of. Yeah, Flintstones was actually kind of good and had charm. I don't know about that. Oh, Emoji Movie? Yeah, okay. Okay. There's the equivalency. It's a way more creative to make Captain Janeway than to make a female Captain Picard, for example. Oh, more creative to make Captain Janeway than to make a female Captain. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. So, but the thing is, James Bond's been played by 5 different actors already. So he's already been. He's a character that's already you're used to molding him and changing him around. So, oh yeah, don't forget the Beverly Hillbillies. Oh my, I forgot about it. Gary Cole as Mike Brady. 1/3 was a television movie that aired on the Fox network that produced what was then Paramount Network Studios, now CBS Studios. The third one was a television movie. Okay. Oh, Brady Bunch. And it said Script Notes did an episode on that. I'm not quite sure what that. Oh. Anything with Leslie Nielsen in is brilliant. Yep. I think Police Squad became Naked Gun. Oh, sorry, Police Academy. I got confused there. I've never seen a Police Academy movie. And you mentioned Dukes of Hazzards. Dukes of Hazzards, I think, was in the 2000s, a little later in the era. But yeah, another movie that was completely forgettable, made it from a TV show. They never did make a Gilligan's Island movie. Although, how would you make a Gilligan's Island movie? I mean, you can't recast Bob Denver. I mean, that's impossible. Three Stooges movie? Oh, jeez. Do we need that? Yeah, Police Squad was... I had... One of the first purchases I bought when I was a kid with my new credit card was the Police Squad VHS. It came on 2 VHSs. And it was like 4 episodes on one and 2 episodes on the other. And I loved that so much. Wasn't it a VHS? Yeah, or it was a DVD. Maybe it would have been DVD. But I loved Police Squad. Especially the ending when they would like high five and then freeze. And then stuff would still be going on behind. Gilligan's Island, dark but edgy. Would that be Lost? I never watched Lost, so. Have I seen Jackie Chan's Super Cop? No, I have to watch more Jackie Chan. After hearing it built up so much, the whole movie was 41 seconds nonstop stunt reel with a total nonsense story. Oh, sure. Yeah, same joke I made there. Lost. Jay Baruchel as, I don't know who that is, but Gilligan. Okay. Police Squad's on Blu-ray. Nice. I remember, Pedro says, I remember reading the Three Stooges at film at some point were to be seen Sean Penn, Jim Curry, and Benicio del Toro. Oh, wow. I would have seen that. Yeah, the freeze frame with like, and then the whole set just falls apart. Oh my goodness. Okay. I've been going on for what, an hour, almost 2 hours now. All right. I think we should probably end it here before I get too angry. All right. Well, I will probably end up going through because I don't think he's being mean or anything, but I might go ahead and unblock that Mr. Ooey's, whatever his name is. I'll do it after the stream, but anyhow. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I think I got this better figured out as far as the signals and what kind of thing I need to adjust to get it to working. But it's kind of cool that I am streaming 24 today, and I'm not having that artifacting. I know as we said it was interlacing. It's not interlacing, although it is a kind of interlacing issue. It's an artifact of a interlaced PSF stream, partial segmented frame stream. So yeah, see, now it should be nice and smooth. Although I do think that YouTube is still streaming this in 30 frames a second. So whatever. Alrighty, guys, let me put some music on as I play myself out. Ooh, here we go. And rolling. There we go. Alrighty, dudes. Thanks for hanging out this Friday night. Stay salty. And go out, guys. Have a good weekend. And I shall see you next week. And hopefully we'll get some more stuff cleaned up and looking nice. See you later. Bye-bye.